the announcement will be made as to where and when the machines should be sent. Then on the 3rd of September, that is where the vetting process will also start. It means that it did not run concurrently. Okay. And we have concerns with that.
And then also going through this registration and installation of tracking devices on earth-moving mining equipment, water quality assessment on Ghana's river system, advertisement of vetting exercise, monitoring compliance and enforcement and small-scale mining regulations, reclamation of degraded land, which I think is part of the MMIP, which we will not go into. Yes. But there are no timelines, as I said earlier. It doesn't state that this will be done for 2 months, 3 months, 6 months. And so are you people clear on these terms?
We are not. That is why I'm saying that we have some concerns, and we have to meet the committee to deliberate on those concerns that we have. They've shown us the time that the movement of the machines will be done. That is on the 20th. And I've also given the 3rd of September for the vetting process. But as to when and how it will end, we are not quite sure. If it's 2 weeks for the movement of the machine, we should be in the know. If it's 2 weeks also for the vetting, so that we can prepare the mindset of our members towards the exercise. But now we know when it is starting, but we don't know when it's ending.
Do you feel that you represent the sentiments of your members?
Yes.
Because as a leader, I'm sure you're trying to ensure that you're saying it calmly and everything. But what's the pulse of your constituency at this point?
Well, to be very honest with you, our guys are aggrieved, and we are also aggrieved as well. But the corporate leadership of the association thinks that once we have the roadmap, it's like embarking on a journey. Okay. You know, we have one specific destination that we are all moving towards, but somebody would like to take the right route, somebody would like to take the left. We have to still meet with the committee and also pour out these grievances and tell them that we think that this is the way that we should embark upon.
Haven't you been part of this committee meeting over the period?
We have, and
you have been at their meetings.
The chairman said that
you have been at their meetings, and you knew about this roadmap when it was being put together.
Yeah, we even made input.
What was your input?
As I said earlier, we finished with about 85%. The district mining committees and staff, we contributed towards that activity.
So these issues that you are not happy with, were they raised at the meetings? Did you people discuss it at that level?
Yes, we did.
And you knew that there were no clear timelines on them?
Yes, and what they said was that bringing out the roadmap, they were going to give us specific timelines and frames. And that was what we were expecting. And that is the cause of the grievances that resides in the heart of our members now. Because they thought that once we finish with the launch of the roadmap, we will be able to know that the tracking will take 2 weeks or a week, the vetting will take 1 month or 2 weeks, so that if we are also making projections toward the future, we will be in a very good position to do that. Now, what we would like to hear from the committee as we move on is to give us the specific timelines, because we know when we are starting, but we don't know where we are ending. So if somebody decides to stay aback and wait for things to move, at the end of the day, the person will be affected. So we should know that the vetting is taking 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, nothing else. From the vetting, we are going to the tracking, or the other way around.
So before you go, from your research and analysis and monitoring of the issues, do you think that the system is clear enough? Has it been sanitized? Have you achieved the purpose for which we instituted this ban, if we are to lift it?
Yes, I would say it's a 50-50.
50-50 is not good enough.
Yes, because
the reason being that there's a wide range of concern in the public that mining is leading to a lot of degradation. There was a major outcry, media, the public, and everything about mining. And so that's why the ban was instituted.
Yes.
And so when we ask the question of whether you feel that it has made the necessary impact, and you say it's 50-50, then we're not ready to lift the ban.
50-50 in the sense that I said we have the pre-ban measures and the post-ban. That is why I started with the 50-50. When it comes to the pre-ban, we are almost through with it. But reclamation of degraded lands and other stuff will come after the lifting of the ban. We cannot do it now. And that is why I used the term 50-50. But when it comes to the pre-ban measures, we are almost through with it. And I said it's left with two main components, the tracking and the vetting. Once that is done, then it means that the purpose for which this ban was imposed, we have been able to achieve. Just that we have to source for financial assistance and stuff before we can go on with the post-ban measures.
Okay, and you are the legal miners. There's also the key issue of illegal mining that we still have to deal with. Do you know how this roadmap is going to address that issue?
Yes, there were issues with regards to these illegal miners, and on Thursday, the Minister for Local Government was there to give us a taste as to what they were also doing with regards to the alternative livelihood support.
Okay.
And also we have another angle that is yet to be introduced. It's also entailed in the roadmap. It's the community mining or the communal mining. Those illegal miners who are not willing to be part of the alternative livelihood support, now some portions will be demarcated where they will be grouped and supervised to adapt to sustainable mining practices.
Mr. Unfortunately, that is all time will allow us for, but I'm sure we would continue these discussions elsewhere on this very network. But you are still watching Captured by Women. And Mr. Magizo is the Director of Research and Development of the Ghana Association of Small-Scale Miners, and we have been talking about the roadmap towards the lifting of the ban. We don't know when yet, but at least there's been a roadmap. We'll be back with more. Please stay.
We have a historically strong relationship with our brothers and sisters right across the border, well, 2 borders in Nigeria. A very interesting relationship because I'm sure if you look into several families, they have relatives that are maybe from Nigeria or have married into Nigerian families. And so over the last couple of weeks, the stories we've heard about violent clashes between Ghanaian and Nigerian traders in Swami and recently at Tiptoe Lane in Circle have been quite worrying. And so today we want to look at what the issues are and what the way forward is, because really we want to ensure that we have peaceful coexistence if we have to, and the laws of Ghana are able to apply where necessary. And so in studio today, we have a representative of GUTA, Mr. Benjamin Yeboah, who is the National Welfare Officer of GUTA. And we also have a representative of the Igbo community in Ghana, who is a titled man. He's Eze Jude Chukudi Ehienetu. I hope I pronounced your name properly. Thank you very much for joining us. So we woke up to very worrying stories on, I believe, Wednesday around incidents in Tiptoe Lane. For those in Accra, you know Tiptoe is very popular for trading electronics and things like that, of clashes that were reported between the Nigerian traders there and Ghanaians. And there have been several discussions. We've interviewed representatives from the people at Tiptoe Lane, and then we have the issue of what happened in Swami. But we then had the reports of GUTA saying, it's fine, let's peacefully coexist, which was nice to hear. But I'm sure the public is wondering, okay, is that backtracking from the original issue? Is that going to be your posturing going forward? But because you're here, we're going to allow you to just speak to that issue clearly and tell the nation what exactly is going on.
Well, thank you very, very much for having me here. It's quite an unfortunate situation, though, but you might know that this is not just a recent agitation from GUTA.
That's right.
It's been almost 18 years that we've been fighting that the laws of the land in terms of trade should be enforced. That is all that we'll be asking for. And then, therefore, we'll be pushing government upon government. We've had task forces being formed in the past to push it. This government came in and we reminded them that this is it. They should work on the laws. And therefore, since last year was their first year in office, we kept cool. This year we pushed on them. And they decided to form a committee. The committee was formed, and as part of the work of the committee, which has so many institutions on board, name it, they are the only institution that has something to do with trade. They are on that committee. And GUTA too is on the committee. So the committee started its work. And as part of its activities and programs, they scheduled 27 July as a deadline, which after that, then they will move on with the program that they have in place. Then just 3 days to the deadline, there's a release from the Ministry of Trade that is being suspended. And really, we were not informed. So when our members heard about it, they questioned we leaders. And we told them, frankly, we are not aware. Why? Then the agitation started. Because you see, if people are looking up to certain, things to happen, and all of a sudden, there's nothing, and they ask us, and we don't really know why, then you see, then they take things into their own hands. And that's why we saw. It's unfortunate that it's, gone down to a Ghana-Nigerian affair. But basically, it's not Nigeria, it's foreigners. Okay. That is the whole issue.
But Nigerian nationals are predominantly the ones that you're having challenges with.
And because they are, I don't know whether to say they are overpopulated. I don't know.
So
they're happy to
There's
be
a
so
large
many
Nigerian community in Ghana.
So that brings us to, why are your people taking over Ghanaian markets?
There are too many.
And doing what they are not supposed to do?
First, we're not taking over Ghanaian market. We're like brothers and sisters. The same way you see higher number of Nigerians here, the same in Nigeria, Ghanaians in Nigeria. If you go down to Lagos, well, millions of Ghanaians there. In all the states in Nigeria, we have 36 states in Nigeria, Ghanaians are all over. Even right in my village, we have Ghanaians today that live in my village for many years. One of the men, his name is Mr. Kofi, but today we call him Mr. Coffee. The name has, has changed to a different name altogether. And they are part of even the family meetings and all that. They're no longer Ghanaians. So the same way we have Ghanaians in Ghana, we have Nigerians in Ghana, the same we have the many Nigeria. So we are not taking over the market. And again, we are not at the same time violating the law of Ghana, though many of our people, they don't have what it takes to trade in Ghana. That one we know. But we Nigerians, especially the Igbos, where I'm coming from, we love trade a lot. All over the world, Igbos are there and we are traders. And we see Ghana as the next English-speaking country to Nigeria. Though we have the many Cotonou, Togo, but in Ghana more. As soon as you cross over to Ghana, you feel like you are home because the communication is very easy there. So we keep also telling our people, based on the law of Ghana, you should also obtain the necessary documentation you're supposed to have.
That you have Nigerians doing all manner of retail work, which is not lawful to them. Even if you engage in retail, you should have some level of capital. They don't have it, and they're doing the very basic ones that are meant for indigents.
It's something I'm just talking about. I said there are some of our people doing exactly what you just said, but we see Ghana that this is also our home because we are the same. Though there's border issue of the border separation and all that, but we see Ghana as our home. So those that are not having documentation which they're supposed to have, we do tell them, if you don't have it, we can come together, merge up with a company and have a company that covers every one of us that will be able for the trade to to go on. It's not everybody that have that capital to do. And if we move down to a place like Europe or like America and all that, we see that place as a far distance place from where we are, the same thing to Ghanaians. So the laws they apply over there, it cannot be the same like the laws we apply here, because we see ourselves, first of all, that we're ECOWAS citizens, though the law of Ghana and the law of ECOWAS is a little something different. Not only Ghana, not only Nigeria, not only Ghana, but we look at that two issue of we are covered by the umbrella of ECOWAS, free trade and all that. They will come in here to trade like the same way Ghanaians are in Nigeria. Yes, so we are not here.
I just want to make that's not supersede our constitution.
I just want to make a very small statement. The statement is this: we are not here to challenge Ghanaians.
But that's what is happening now.
No, please, we are not here to challenge Ghanaians. We are rather here to work with them for we to also have our daily bread.
So if that is happening, Mr. But what is your challenge? What is the problem?
You see, back in the 80s, I'm a trader too. We had Nigerians coming into Ghana. And per what the treaty you were trying to explain is, when they come in, they offload their goods to us. And then we sell for them. And then we pay their money, whether it's what do you call it, on credit basis or whatever. We pay them back per the treaty. Within 90 days or 3 months, you should go back. So they collect their money and they go back. There was no problem. We were all living in harmony. So that is it. But then they decided to now come and stay.
Okay. So what happened was some of them because my grandfather was a general merchant in the West. And so what happened, what I know is some stayed, they got married, they had children, and they become part of our community. That's a critical issue that we need to consider. So some Nigerians who live in Ghana do not consider themselves Nigerians anymore.
We don't have a problem with
so
them.
Is that an issue that you're considering?
You see, the problem here is that, look, unfortunately, he was saying Ghanaians also live in Nigeria.
Yes.
What is our population? Are you aware?
The population in Nigeria?
In Ghana.
About 27 million.
27 million. Do you have an idea of the population in Nigeria?
No.
It's over 170 million.
Oh, you mean the Nigerian population? Okay, I thought you meant the Ghanaians.
So imagine if 1/20th of Ghanaians decide to go to Nigeria and stay. Look at the proportion. If 1/20th of Nigerians decide to come into Ghana and stay. See, the framers of that particular treaty were very mindful of the fact that we should be careful so that we don't have a particular country moving en bloc to migrate into another country. That's why the caveat is there. But unfortunately, our the institutions that should check it have reneged on their duties, and that is the problem we're having. As we speak, the task force has started working in Kumasi and Swami, and I'm sure with time you will hear what has gone on, because if you sleep on your job, you get a lot of malfeasance going on. It's true, yes, he's been to our office before, and I know they are also trying hard to advise some of their members. But then they would advise, but it's for the laws enforcement agencies and other institutions to do their work so that there's proper regulation. You can't just go into someone's country and decide to slay because you just love the country. There should be, we should know your status.
If they are state, then that has to do with immigration laws and all that, and it goes beyond Guta and trade.
That is why they are all in the committee.
So why are your members also taking the laws into their hands and fighting them? It's not for them to fight them.
They did not fight them. It was when there was a break in what the communication that was going on. Otherwise, we had always kept them and I kept always speaking to them. But immediately that happened. Look, just over the weekend, our national president was that's Guta. He was in Kumasi. The president of the land was in Kumasi. The trade minister was in Kumasi. They had to speak to them and tell them, please allow the institutions to work. We understand your frustration, but there's something in place. Let it work. So now they are working. So now people are staying back, allowing the institutions mandated by law to work.
How far have you also gone in collaborating with the state institution to let the laws work?
We have gone very far. You know, we the Igbos, we love community meetings a lot. So we always talk to our people during our community meetings, telling them it's very important you have the necessary documents that Ghanaian government need for you to trade here. If you don't have those documents, it's a problem for you. Like today, I had so many phone calls from Kumasi. When this issue was going on, I even flew to Kumasi to meet with the king, to meet with the regional minister and all that. And this same issue, I stayed like 2 days in Kumasi. That was last 2 weeks, Saturday. Before, by the special grace of God, the president was there and spoke with the authority, like my brother is saying here. And I also tell them it's very important you have your documents. One. Number two, if you don't have these documents and the authority involved, the authority that is concerned to check on this document, come on you. That is a problem because I cannot shade you as your king.
Izzy, there's an allegation that the Nigerian community has impressed on the Ghanaian authorities to step back on this issue. Do you feel that there's been an influence in any manner or form?
No, nothing like such.
Okay.
And it's not true that you're influencing them with
nothing
some cash
like
and some
why will you influence them with cash? It's not supposed to be, and nobody has done that.
Because it's surprising the way they step back from the decision just a few days to implementation.
Okay, just right now I'm talking to my brother, we're speaking, I said, the same way we have Ghanaians in Nigeria, the same way we have them over here. You're also talking about marriage issue and all that. Kids and stuff. I married a Ghanaian. In my house, I live with over 2 something Ghanaians in my house. I have my in-laws and all that. So if you move me out of Ghana, automatically those that I'm helping, those that are working for me, they're going to lose their job. So you see, these issues is issue that we discuss on understanding, not that there's influence of cash or something. No, my brother is working for Guta. He is doing his job. But if I sit down with him and say, my brother, this thing that you people are implementing, think about the Ghanaians that we have employed working for us. If we move out of the market, even if the Ghanaians are 100 alone, that 100 gonna lose their job. And if they lose their job, it will affect their children, it will affect their feeding and all that. So on that understanding, things can, some certain measures can look at kind of, on that way. So there's nothing like influence of money. We can't do that at all.
On that very influential note, we would like to wrap up. Thank you very much for joining us. We do hope that we can continue to peacefully coexist with all our foreign neighbors who decide to come into Ghana, because we're foreigners in other countries as well. But we impress on the authorities to also follow the rules, and let's see how this pans out to ensure that everyone is doing what they're supposed to be doing. Please stay with us. We'll take a break. We'll be right back.
Welcome back. This is still Captured by Women, and talking about women, we always love to look good, and these days the trend in town is these hats and wedding fascinators. You wouldn't see a lady at a wedding without at least a small fascinator complementing whatever she is wearing. Where has these things come from, and how easy is it to have one? We have in the studio with us Sonia Ofori Anson, who is the CEO of Sonia's Decor Arts and Creation, who has come with all these very beautiful fascinators, and then she will also be showing us how to make one. Good afternoon, Sonia.
Good afternoon.
Welcome to Captured by Women.
Thank you.
And I'm amazed. These hats look so
really
classy. And I mean, this red one is so tempting. I think we'll go with
simple.
Yeah, I mean, let me try this on.
Please
Wow.
keep it on. It goes very well with your everything.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, Sonia, so tell us, how long have you been doing this?
For the past 10 years.
Wow.
10 years.
Wow.
Roughly 10 years.
Wow. And how did it all start? How did you learn it? Because 10 years, I'm not sure it was so much in vogue as it is now.
It all started after school, working, and I decided not to work for anyone again. So I said I needed to do something to myself. I went to EKGS at Dansoman to do decoration. For 6 months, I graduated, and I was working, and then I saw that, no, it was not enough. So I needed to add something to it. And then I learned this within 3-4 months.
Sonia, what led you to making the decision not to work for anyone?
Being a mother, having children. I can't be working for somebody. My kids come from school. There's nobody to take care of them. Homework, stuff, pressure. So with my own job, I can manage my kids, my husband, and the home as well.
Okay, all right. Okay, that's an interesting reason.
Wow, but how easy or difficult is it to make, I mean, one of these, or at least these small ones?
Very easy.
Wow, then I can make some.
Very easy.
You can, yeah. You can. I have students, and after 1 month, you should be able to do a hat. Because when you come, whatever we do, you go to the house, practice it, bring it, and then I check it up, then we continue. So with at least 3 months, you should graduate and start doing something for yourself.
That's nice, very empowering. So I mean, young women out there who are looking for extra income, or they actually want a full-time job, this is something they can quickly learn and implement.
Very. It can bring income to the house as well.
Are you okay?
I'm
Can you
okay.
take this thing off your back and relax for me? Yeah. So now you can take us through making one of these very classy headbands. Well,
if you are ready to go for a wedding and you want a quick fascinator, this is an already fascinator base. It comes in this shape. So let's say this is my royal blue. Maybe I have a royal blue dress or a royal blue accessories. I just want to complement it with a royal blue fascinator. So I have this. I have my royal blue net because I wanted it fast. So, and this is my glue. And these are accessories to complement what I'm going to do.
How easy is it to find these on the market?
Some of them are on the market.
Okay.
Others I buy online.
Okay.
AliExpress.
Okay.
So this was just a half yard of bridal knits. So
Not a sponge.
No, bridal knits.
Oh, the
Bridal
fisherman's
knit. No, please, it's a bridal knit.
Bridal net, not a
Yes,
sponge.
not a sponge.
Captain actually thought it was a sponge.
So I'm just pleating the middle. A
No,
very
but
quick
sometimes
one.
when you ask of the price, you're like, oh, Sapo way so now.
Uh-huh. So you see, I've just pleated it.
Wow.
You're the kind of customer that the women will just say, hey,
Move
move
away.
away.
Because I'm like, wait, what at all? These
I'm just
feathers.
applying my glue to the base. And then I'm applying my net, whichever way I want it.
It looks very easy.
I'm sure it's not easy.
It will be. Can't wait to
So-
see the outcome.
I have fixed my net. So now, that is not enough. So I want something else. I have this, and I have berries. So I want this. So I'm going to apply my glue to my stopper.
If you don't have this professional glue,
Glue.
can you use super glue?
Nope, madam. You need this.
Okay.
You can use any other glue
Apart
than
from
this.
Not
Yes.
carpenter's
What about the ones they
glue?
use
No.
for shoes? The
No.
shoemakers.
Yeah, the
Please,
shoemaker's
that
glue.
is a shoemaker's glue.
So we have to buy fascinator glue. What's
Yes,
it called? Okay.
Glue.
All-purpose adhesive.
Yes,
Okay.
please.
All right.
So now I have this.
Okay.
Nice.
Wow.
So still, I think I'm still not done. I have feathers. So I decide to add, this is called zigzag feathers. So I'm just, when I'm fixing, I need to check how it
It
will
will
come
look.
out like. So I'll decide maybe the 4 is too much. So let me just put in 2. So I'll still have to try to see if it's enough. Oh, okay. Then let me put this one here.
I see.
Hmm.
I think a touch
So-
of red wouldn't be bad with
Yeah, I
this
was going to
royal
say,
blue.
I
Yeah,
love
it
red.
depends on what you are wearing.
Okay.
So
Red
maybe if
or
the wedding
yellow.
colors is red, then I'll decide to add a touch of red. But I want royal blue, all royal blue. Because maybe I'm going to put on a white dress.
Okay.
So with this, now I know it's okay.
And the feathers won't fall off when you're
It
dancing
won't.
at the wedding.
It won't
nothing.
because I'm applying glue.
glue. Okay.
It won't fall off.
Okay. So Sonia, you mentioned one of the decisions, the reasons why you took the decision to go into business was because you wanted to balance family and
Yeah.
children. But owning your own business is hard work as well.
It
So how have
is.
you been able to combine that with everything else that you do?
I start work at 9.
Okay.
And if I have students, we close at 12. So 12, by 3,
You're
my
done.
child is in the house. By 5:36, my husband is at home. So I can manage all this.
Okay.
Yeah.
But how easy is it setting up a business like this?
You need
Capital and
Capital.
all.
capital because you need to buy all these little things. Our client will say, "Oh, this is very little. How is it costly?" But
Just
it
like you
is.
thought it was a
Yes,
sponge.
you know. so the things are costly, and you know, I want something classy. Other than that, when you go to Mokola, you get those. But I want my work to be different from what I see in town.
So we're done.
So we are done.
So what's the minimum capital someone needs to set up a business like this? Young lady just starting out, she wants to start.
1,000 Ghana.
1,000, that's a lot of money.
It is. But what I do is, if you come, sometimes some of them don't have. So what I do is maybe get the materials. As you are going along, you are paying.
Okay.
So before you complete, you are done.
Okay, and you have like a class for working women who want to do something on the side? Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And how can people reach out to you? Do you have a website, Facebook, Twitter?
Facebook, Twitter.
Instagram.
Okay, so what should they, how will they find you?
Sonia Oforianson.
Okay.
On the Facebook, Instagram. And or when you go to Facebook, it's Sonia Oforianson. When you go to Instagram, it's the same thing.
Okay, all right.
So that's
Very interesting. The hats look really lovely. I have a quick question.
Okay.
You know the hats, how they've been made,
Yeah.
it tends to feel like once you wear it to one wedding, you can't recycle. Is there anything you can do for your customers to recycle?
We have different types of hats. This is a crochet hat.
Okay.
This is a basket hat. This is a straw. The silver is a straw hat.
Okay.
And then we have the cinnamon. So let's say you want everyday something, you can go with a gold hat because gold matches a lot of things. And then silver. But maybe you get into the shop, you bring the color of the attire. I can make a hat for you.
Okay, but can you recycle it? So
As in
after
when
I've
I
worn
buy
it to
this
Catherine's
one.
wedding, can I wear it to Adjoi's wedding again? And it doesn't look like I'm wearing the same hat.
Yes, you can.
Okay.
All you need to do is just change the accessories.
Okay, so they can always bring it back to you and you can change it.
Oh, I can only change the font sometimes.
Okay.
But
At a
not
fee.
all the time.
That's a fee.
So, so this will
So
give us
these
a
are
contact
these are the
and
fabrics.
where we can find her.
Cinnamon. So this is what we use. We have different colors. This is cream. It comes in different colors. We have royal blue, cream, white, and red.
All right,
the
Sonia. So
colours.
tell us where we can find you in Accra. Your location.
Jowulu, White House. I'm closer to Palace Chinese Restaurant. And my numbers are 0243 385 685. 0235 385 685. That is WhatsApp.
Well, I have my fascinator on already, and I can't wait for a Saturday to rock it to that wedding. But let's see how Petra will look in that blue that was just made here.
Sure, it will look lovely.
Yeah,
So
because
I'm
there's some
waiting.
spots of blue in your dress.
Yes.
Yes,
And
Sonia,
blue
can
is
you
actually
try
one
it
of
on?
my favorite colors. And
Wow.
then red. So
Anyway,
yeah.
let's see how you
Okay.
look.
I always prefer
Wow.
my fascinator on my side.
Wow.
But you can bring it to the
front.
Whichever
Okay.
way you bring it.
Wow.
How do I look?
You look classy.
Thank
I mean,
you.
like a boss chick at a wedding.
Yes, actually, I think if there's a royal wedding soon, I will be attending in my blue
That will be
fascinator made
mine
by
in
Sonia.
the UK soon.
Oh, that would be, yes. In fact, Catherine is going
Because
to
there
have
are
a
some
royal
more
wedding.
princes to be grabbed, you
You
know.
know. On that very fascinating note, whilst we decide how we're going to marry Catherine off to a royal prince somewhere in UK, we'll take a break. We'll be right back. Please stay. Last week on our lifestyle segment, we looked at microblading. Very interesting concept. You may want to consider it. Stay with us.
In our last episode, we got to find out what microblading is, what it's all about, the do's and the don'ts, the pros and the cons. Now, let's get down to business.
Ready? Yes, I'm ready to. Come with me. Okay, so you already have good eyebrows. Yes. They just need a little tweak here and there. Okay, so normally we agree that with a golden ratio, that is based on symmetry of the face, the brow arch here has to be visible. That's where normally we put our shadows, our highlights areas and all that. We don't microblade into the skin here, especially because the skin is soft.
Okay.
So since there are strokes, the strokes can shift and it can descend into the soft areas. We call this the eye socket. So we don't microblade anywhere in the eye socket. Because as you age, if the eyebrow microblading is still there, we don't want, as your skin is sagging, for the brows to also sag.
So then your brows will
Yes.
shift from here
Yes.
to here.
Okay, so I wrap it a little bit so that when I apply the numbing cream, it's going to penetrate faster. I try as much as possible to follow what the client has so that the client doesn't have to do too much of trimming it and shaping it. Unless the brows are not symmetric, then we have to try and go too much away from what the client has. We try to incorporate most of your eyebrows, and we only take off the little that we don't need. And with you per se, I know that you like your brows to be very full and you don't want them oversaturated. So knowing you, I'm putting all that into consideration before I'm drawing your brows. Okay. So I'm going to come in now and take the excess hair that's out of the shape, and then I'm going to tweak it here and there with my pencil. So once I've achieved this with the symmetry, I now come in and make it more softer. Numbing rose is very simple. Sometimes they think that it's something close to what we use for childbirth. Yes, no. This is just a topical cream. You set the time? Yeah, I set the timer. It's just going to go. I'll keep checking on it.
Well, ideally, other people would opt to do other things whilst they wait, but I decided to do this.
I'd like to show my clients what we're using. So these are the sterile needles. I use a few, so it's just for you to know that they are new, they haven't been used on anyone. And then we have my wife's, my favorite brand that I like to use, and that's about it. Okay. So we're going to be using a dark brown pigment, and normally I like to just do a little demo of it on the brows of the head of the client, for them to see. Sometimes when we're doing the so you see the dark brown, so it's perfect because when it's going to be much lighter, but then it's still going to look natural. Sometimes we have to mix this with a little bit of black to get when somebody's much darker. But since you don't want a very intense look, we go with the dark brown. And when you come for touch up and you feel like you want to go darker, we can go darker. Okay. All right.
At this point, I was actually scared. Why did I even do this?
Natural hair brow growth, what do you have to say?
The needles are very fine, so they just graze the skin, so they don't do anything to the natural hairs. Because we're working in between them, so that's why we call the spine. To beware of too cheap advertisement for brows. It is very important because it means that the quality of the products being used, nothing to talk about. Do your homework. Don't just give your eyebrows to inexperienced people to work on.
After 45 minutes of pricking and scraping, it was now time for the big reveal.
Brows on fleek.
I can't see it, but I can feel it. Wow.
You see the strokes?
Yeah. Oh, wow. This is, wow.
So imagine waking up like this every day.
Yeah, I woke up like this. So, my people, I don't plan on, getting up from where I am. But I have to. So let's do this. Can I come up?
Yes, you can. You can sit up.
Yeah. I feel like a kid in a candy store. Like, I'm very excited. Wow. Okay. So how do I keep this from going crazy?
Okay, so with the aftercare, I'm going to be giving you some antibacterial soap, which you're going to be washing your eyebrows with. So you just make a little lather. We're going to do this 2 times a day, in the morning and in the evening. So don't be afraid thinking that it's going to take out the pigment. No, you need to cleanse the area, make it as clean as possible. And then there's ointment you're going to apply after you've dabbed at the brows and they are quite dry. You just put a little bit on it. So I'm going to show you how to do that so that you avoid over smudging them. A&D ointment, it helps to just soothe and help the brows to heal nicely. So it's just a small amount like that you're going to set. We don't want you walking around with too much oil on your eyebrows. So kindly look in the mirror.
Okay.
So you're just going to apply this much like that.
Okay. With a Q-tip?
Yes, with a Q-tip. So that's done after once you've cleansed your face with your antibacterial soap, you do that. So that's it. If you find during the day you are sweating or you just dab at it with wipes, which I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you some set of wipes which you're going to be using to clean. But for today, for the next 2 hours, you're going to just be cleaning your eyebrows with the wipes because of the lymph that is going to be coming out. So once that is done, you're good to go. You don't need to do anything to your brows. You can apply makeup on your face if you need to. If you don't, you can avoid for at least the first 5 days. And then if you need to apply makeup, you can do, but just avoid your eyebrow area.
Okay.
Don't apply any makeup on the eyebrow itself.
Okay.
Okay.
Now, this is to prevent you from getting any
form of infections, yes.
Right. I think
So how do you love your brows?
I love them. Wow. I think I can understand the obsession now. All right. Well, as you can see, my eyebrows, I can safely say that my eyebrows are on fleek, thanks to Selassie.
Thank you too.
Bank. Thank you so much. We've learned so much from you, and I am very, 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 very that this is going to be like a new addiction for me.
But a long-lasting addiction.
Oh yes, this type of addiction, I would say, is very good. So, as she said throughout this episode, make sure you go to the right technician. Make sure you go to someone who's qualified. Make sure you go to an environment that is friendly, an environment that allows you to be able to ask all the questions that you need to ask and have them answered properly, so that at the end of the day you have something amazing like what I have here. I'm Solis Rose Quarte. Thank you very much for having me, Selassie.
Thank you so much.
In our third and final episode, Selassie will be teaching us all we need to know about the latest in lash technology. Don't miss it.
Wow, it's been another exciting episode of Captured by Women. I'm very happy always to be here. And today we had a nice laugh from Catherine, thinking that the material we use to make fascinators is sponge.
Sapo. But it looks like sapo.
It looks
and
like
then sometimes I don't get it. Sapo,
and it's so
how
expensive.
much? 10 cities, and then I buy this thing for 80, 100. Master, I'll go to the beach and get the fisherman's net.
And I especially that you've done so much work around fishes and
And
everything.
it looks so much like a fisherman's
when you
net.
show up at the shore, they'll just dash you the net.
Me, I will cut them, and then you see me coming like a nurse.
Well, we had Sonia showing us some very interesting techniques to make simple fascinators for weddings. We also spoke about the issue of a very annoying phenomenon around the illegal use of sirens and the fact that the IGP is assuring us that this issue is going to be curbed. And we looked at the roadmap that was launched for the lifting of the ban on small-scale mining, and that sounds like a meeting to discuss another meeting we're going to have in the future. Hopefully it won't be the case.
My pick for today has been the permanent lashes.
Okay.
You know me and these makeup techniques, I love them, and I think I'm still gathering the money. I told her I wanted to do microblading.
Yes.
Now I've added permanent lashes, so maybe in my next 2-3 months salary put together,
You'll
have
be able
that
to do it.
brilliant look.
It'll make you look extra nice, I'm sure. Yeah, and you don't have to spend time doing it in the morning or doing it every week.
It takes so much of my morning.
So much time, yeah. Makeup makes everyone look beautiful, as you can see. So yes, thank you very much for joining us today. It's been Captured by Women, myself Petra and Catherine. We'll be right back same time next week, and we want to appreciate our sponsors, Yamvita, a delicious way to go, and GTP. Please join us same time next week. Enjoy your weekend.
Have a great weekend.
What you say?
Captured by Women is brought to you by Yumv.